night was unusually quiet as paramedics, Sarah and Tom, drove through the empty streets, the only sound being the rhythmic hum of the ambulance engine. They had just finished a long shift, but the radio crackled to life with a new call. Unit 7, respond to a 911 call at the old cemetery. Possible overdose. Proceed with caution. Sarah exchanged a worried glance with Tom. The cemetery? At this hour? She asked, her voice laced with unease. Tom shrugged, gripping the wheel tighter. Let's just get it over with. As they approached the cemetery, the moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the gravestones. The air felt heavy, thick with an unsettling energy. This place gives me the creeps, Sarah admitted, her heart racing. They parked the ambulance and stepped out, the sound of their footsteps echoing against the cold stone. Stay close, Tom said, shining his flashlight into the darkness. The beam flickered over the weathered tombstones, casting long shadows that danced in the night. Suddenly, they heard a faint sobbing sound coming from deeper within the cemetery. Did you hear that? Sarah whispered, her instincts on high alert. They followed the sound, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. As they turned a corner, they found a young woman sitting on a gravestone, her face buried in her hands. Help me, she cried, her voice trembling. I can't find him. Who? Tom asked, stepping closer. The woman looked up, her eyes wide with fear. My brother. He's lost. He needs help. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine as she noticed the gravestone behind her. The name etched into the stone was the same as the woman's. Your brother? Sarah asked, her voice barely above a whisper. He's gone. The woman's expression twisted into a mix of sorrow and rage. No, you don't understand. He's here, and you have to help him. Before they could react, the ground beneath them trembled, and the air grew cold. The woman's sobs turned into a haunting wail, echoing through the cemetery. Help me, help him, she screamed, her voice reverberating in their ears. The shadows around them began to shift, and Sarah felt a presence closing in. Get back to the ambulance, Tom shouted, grabbing Sarah's arm. They turned to run, but the path seemed to stretch endlessly, the gravestones closing in around them. The woman's cries faded into the night, replaced by an ominous silence. Finally reaching the ambulance, they jumped inside and slammed the doors shut. Tom fumbled with the keys, his hands shaking. As the engine roared to life, they glanced back at the cemetery. The woman stood at the edge, her face twisted in despair, her brother's name echoing in the wind. Did we just leave her? Sarah asked, her voice trembling. Tom nodded, his eyes wide with fear. We have to go, now. As they sped away, the radio crackled again, but this time, it was a chilling whisper. Help me.